Okay, okay. Well, good morning. Good morning. We have a wonderful show for you today. We're going to find out how do you connect with the great outdoors and how does it affect your life and what it can do for you. And so anyway, my name's Carol Henderson. I have the Life by Design studio and I've got my cup of warm hot coffee. And I'm here with my wonderful co-host, Miss Barbara Ellison. So,
Good morning, everyone. Yeah, welcome to the Monday Motivations hey, and we're the Mavens of Motivation.
yes,
And
and we're motivated.
and we are motivated. The thing is that so often the things that we talk about are the things that we are talking about for ourselves. You know,
Amen.
because we tend to teach the things. I mean, and that's not just us. I think that is something that people we tend to teach the things that we need to learn ourselves.
Yeah, most
And
teachers do.
most teachers
Good
do.
teachers do. Bad teachers teach you something that they just read out of a book and don't
Yeah,
try to live. We
right.
do our best to live what we're teaching y'all.
Exactly. And so, that's it today, this is such the beautiful time of the year. I mean,
Oh,
and the thing is, you know what, no matter what time of the year, when you're listening to this, no matter what time of the year it is, it's a beautiful time of the year.
yes.
Whether it's winter, spring, summer, fall. What's your favorite season? And what are you doing to get outside to enjoy it?
Put it in the chat. Put it in the
Put it
chat
in
so
the
we can see it and hear.
Let us know, what are
Celebrate
you
with you.
doing? And Carol and I, we were talking this morning. Well, yeah, when I didn't introduce myself. My name's Barbara Ellison, founder of Wellness Playroom for the best version of you. And the thing is, the best version of you is being your physical best is part of being the best version of
Yes.
you.
Yes.
And on those days when I really take the time to go outside, get a breath of fresh air, and I have now realized that I take fresh air breaks
Mhm.
just to get and I can the funny thing is I can remember my mom saying, "Oh, yeah, I'm just going to go have a fresh air break." And I can remember my mom doing that.
Your mom had lots of things like that.
Yeah.
And
And
my mom did too, but we didn't notice them as children.
but we didn't notice them as children, and yet now I can remember her saying that, or she would call them sunshine breaks. "Oh, I'm just
Mhm.
going to go have a sunshine break." And
Yeah.
she would sit outside for 10 minutes.
Mhm. Well,
She
and
would
I have a
literally sit
story
outside
on
for
how powerful that is. Y'all know that I came out of the model and talent industry, had an agency. I was not a model, but had an agency and took girls all over the world, both for competitions and for work. Uh, but I was at a competition once. It was down in Dallas, and uh, we'd been to a few, but not tons. But this was like a week-long event. Okay. So for 5 days, we were in a hotel. And at that particular event, at that time, the swimsuit was done indoors. And we had been indoors, and you could just feel everybody at the convention started going.
Yeah.
And I went out for a minute. For some reason or other, I had to run out to the car or something, just a minute. And I'm thinking, oh, and I went and gathered up all my girls. I had 15 or 20 of them with me. I'm going, come on, we're going outside. And so we went out. It was a beautifully landscaped resort. We just had not taken advantage of it because we were eating in the building. We were competing every few hours and, just all that goes on at an event. And it was a busy event. And so we went out, just walked around the grounds and
Mhm.
just enjoyed and everything. And everybody perked up. You could see a difference between my girls and the ones that were from the other places. And it just sparked something in every one of us. And that's when it really, really became so apparent to me how much we need the sunshine breaks.
Right. Take a
It
sunshine
it
break.
feeds us. It feeds us. And used to people were outdoors and were doing things and even, the floors were dirt or they were concrete.
Yeah.
Now we're on high rises. We wear shoes that instead of having a leather sole or going barefoot, we have rubber soled shoes. And there's a thing called grounding that grounds us to the earth. It's a real thing, and it's like a electric is the wrong word, but it's a frequency charge that comes up out of the ground and feeds our bodies. You really should spend 10 minutes outside every day with your toes in the grass, 10
Mhm.
minutes, and it will
Right.
change your life. It truly, it will change your life. And if I'm wearing flip-flops and stuff and I'm somewhere like even in town and I
Yeah.
see green grass, I'll just kick them
Right.
off and walk around in a minute just to get that lift because we don't have that kind of grass around here. We have prairie, and
Right.
even up around our yard, we do have grass, but it's
It's that
much
coarse
harder
grass.
to maintain than somewhere down in Dallas, so to speak.
Yeah.
So, but yeah,
And yeah, and that's absolutely the truth. Um, and I live in the northern temperature, so in the winter it's really hard. And one of the things that I did years ago was I bought myself one of those sunlight therapy lamps.
my son has one of those. They're amazing.
And I use it especially during the winter, because there are times when it's like you feel it's a heaviness.
Hmm.
And it's because you're not getting the rays of the sun.
Yeah.
And and so often, like now, especially now with people living in air conditioning,
Uh-huh.
living, as you said, living in
High
high rises.
rises, no balcony, no
There's
backyard.
no balcony, there's no backyard,
Hmm.
and it's showing up in our health,
Hmm.
in
Our
our
attitudes.
our attitude, and the mental stress
Mhm,
that is coming out in people. And
mhm.
guess what? When you're stressed, guess what happens? Well, one person starts it, the next person gets the contagion, the next person, and all of a sudden you've got a whole gaggle of people who are
They're all
stressed,
grousing. They're
and
grousing.
they're all grousing. They're all complaining.
Mhm, and it just
Well,
feeds on itself and builds and rolls. You
feeds
know,
on itself.
I'm sure all of y'all have heard that you're the sum of the 5 people you hang out with.
Right.
Think, who
Exactly.
are your 5 best friends and what do they bring to the table and what do you bring to the table?
Right.
If you're the smartest one in the room, that's not good. You need to find a new room.
Right.
Don't throw
Exactly.
those people out, but you may be you need to find a place that you're not the smartest and you're not the whatever, most encouraging or something like
Right.
that. But Barbara and I hang out a lot together, just off air because we it says iron sharpens iron.
Right.
And so we we work at making each other better.
Right.
She takes the classes and then she teaches me. That makes her better as a student, better as a teacher. I,
Mm.
I have a husband and a farm on top of what I do, and
Right.
she doesn't. And so she teaches me, she gives me the cliff notes so I can get it fast. Sometimes it takes, sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes I have to go back and Barbara, I need to
Yeah.
know more on
Well, how do
this.
we do this? Right. And that's the thing. And that's one day I was working with a gal, and I can't remember how it came up. She said something about it because I was helping her do something. She said, "Oh, Barb, I feel so bad that I'm taking all your time." I said, "No, this is the fun part of what I do.
Mhm.
I love doing the I
You're
can,
you're a teacher. You're a teacher
I'm
at heart. That's your
I'm a
gift.
teacher at heart. And I always wanted to be a teacher. As a kid, I always wanted to be a teacher, but then took a student teaching class. Oh, you know what? One of the things too about being out in nature, take classes outside. I mean, that's a little off topic, but take classes outside. Do things that have things that you're taking an outside trip. Like go to like one of the school trips is to go to the arboretum. And then one of the ones is that we went to one of the farms
Mhm.
and one of the orchards and the apple picking. Doesn't mean that that is being out in nature.
Well, and for someone who can't do that,
But
if you're doing an online class, if at all possible, Go sit up on the patio or in a courtyard. I mean, hotels will let you use their Wi-Fi often, not
Right.
always. You may have to use data, but often they'll let you use their hotel and go sit in their courtyard.
I
You
sit
don't
out
have
on
to
my
be a
back.
guest. You
No,
don't have to be a guest or an outdoor restaurant. Put your
right.
earbuds in there, but get outdoors.
Sit outside. I sit
Even
out on
that
my
little
deck.
bit. Yeah.
It's so important. So take a class. But anyway, so back to my little side bunny trail, as Carol calls them. But anyway, so I took this student teaching class, has a kid. Well, I was, out of school. And then
Big kid.
realize that I would never, ever, 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 ever be a school teacher. And that one little mindset has kept me stuck for so many years. That, oh, well, I'm not a teacher. And when Carol said, well, yeah, you are a teacher. You're just not doing school teacher. She said, my mom was a school teacher. You're doing the same thing that she was doing, just not doing it in a classroom.
Mhm. And
And that's
thank God for the shutdown because more and more people have access to more and more good teachers.
and can I share with you one statistic that I just learned over the weekend?
No, we don't want to hear it.
Yeah. Okay. 80 during the shutdown, I won't even give it a name, but during the shutdown, we all know what we're talking about.
Mhm.
Over these last few years since that time, there have been 89 million jobs lost.
Mm,
A lot of people were affected by it.
yeah.
The thing is, though, guess how many jobs were created? 93 million jobs were created as a result of it. So
So
we are
how many of
technically,
those are small businesses like
and
what
most of
we
them
had? Yeah.
all businesses, because of the difference in the technology.
Mhm.
Carol and I, we were lucky. We used Zoom a lot anyway, so it was no big
Yeah.
thing for us
Before
to
before the
go
shutdown. So we were
before the
we were
shutdown.
kind of a leg up.
So we were a little ahead of it. However, but the people, 89 million jobs lost, and yet 93 million jobs have been created.
Right. The other
So
thing too, sometimes those jobs might even pay less than the others, but so many people cut their costs.
they
They
cut their costs.
learned what they really didn't need during the
Right,
shutdown.
right.
When you couldn't get things, you learned kind of like our ancestors did. How do you get by? I
Mhm.
mean, we had chickens before when we lived in town, but it was during the shutdown, not because of the shutdown. Keith just finally said, okay, I've been asking for several years, but we got chickens. And so now we have eggs. Our
Right.
neighbors have eggs.
And
Our friends have eggs.
right,
Uh,
and that gets you outdoors.
yes, yes. In fact, today I have a young man coming over to help me. I can do it by myself, but it's just easier with two people, and my husband's out of pocket right now. But anyway, we're going to build these little planters
Yeah.
that just sit in the chicken yard with chicken wire on the top of them. So that the great Keith and I planted before and we'd fence it off and then they jump the fence or they get in, but they eat all of it and the seed. So we're doing these little planters that are yay high. And we're going to put chicken wire on the top so the little plants can grow up and they can eat all the stuff on the top, but they can't get to the seed. They can't totally block out all the stuff. And we're just going to throw all kinds of different seeds, grass, flowers, whatever in there and let it grow up
Right.
so that they
Exactly.
can have, good snacks.
Yeah.
And that's my outdoor project for today.
Content. So find like one of the things that I talk about all the time is find those things that make your heart sing.
Mhm.
Whether it's going for a walk, like with me, I love to take my dog for a walk.
Mhm.
And now I'm very grateful that my town has put a walking path pretty much around my whole section of town. I'm
Cool.
so grateful. So grateful. And then part of it is really through a clover field. and it's an actual crop. I mean, it's the crop. That's the crop, but it's through so it's walking through the clover field. And so I get to watch them as they are, the clover grows up, and then they harvest the clover, and then the clover comes up
So
and they
what do
harvest.
they do with clover?
Oh, it's wonderful for horses. It's a
I
treat
mean,
for
I
horses.
knew it was a crop, but I just wasn't real sure
Clover
exactly how it was used.
for horses and stuff. They clover and stuff. And they use it as it's one of the nutrients. It's a nutrient for horses and stuff. Anyway, so it is so fun to be able to but in the middle of this clover, Daisy, I mean, she's only little, but I can let her off leash. So it's fun for her. It's fun for me to watch her just go in and out and find all these little trails through the clover. And that's being out in nature,
Mhm.
because you're outside.
Yeah,
You're getting fresh
yeah,
air.
yes. And if
Do
you're an
it.
apartment dweller and you have a balcony and you don't have a walking trail close by, get some little planters and plant. You can plant flowers, you can plant vegetables. If you plant vegetables, you can grow your own organic vegetables. And I'm
Oh,
going to say, don't go get the potting soil and use it. Go find dirt. Find
right.
dirt. You might get some cocoa powder. I mean, it's like ground coconuts, but it's very it's one of those things you put a little water in it, it goes big like the things you have when you're little kids. But you mix it in with the dirt so it holds the moisture and you don't have as much thing. And go find you somebody with chickens. You don't want to put like fresh chicken poop on it, but put some that's been sitting for a year because it's kind of hot.
Broken down.
The best fertilizer we ever found was when we still lived in town and Keith went down to the West Texas University and they had a big horse farm and he brought home horse stuff and put it on all our flower beds. It was amazing. So if you have access to that, uh, definitely that's a
And one of the
wonderful.
old things that I've heard, and that I think some people still do it, is they put coffee grounds. Don't
Uh,
throw out your coffee grounds.
mhm.
Put them on the garden.
Yeah.
You'll put them in your plants.
Yes,
Um,
yeah.
but it's
It is good. It is good. Of course, now we have care eggs and
right.
those are
And
hard
that's
to get
right.
open to get the grounds out and not
Right.
really worth it.
Like,
Cook you up a pot of coffee.
so all of this to say, what are you going to do today to go outside? Pick one thing. Set your and like with me, I have to put it on my calendar. It's like my sunshine break. And
Yes.
the days that I don't do it, like yesterday was kind of a gloomy, and I really didn't spend much time outside. And today it was like, yeah, today I'm going to be outside, even if I'm standing on my porch. If it's raining, be outside.
Yeah. Yeah.
You don't have to,
You know,
like just whatever it takes to be outside.
and it
So,
can be
so, so.
fun to walk in the rain. You don't necessarily have to get wet. Get an umbrella, put on a raincoat and a hood. If you don't
Rubber,
have a hood, use a Walmart sack. It'll keep your hair dry and
yep,
fits perfectly.
yep,
But
exactly.
go out and be in it, and look at how much fun Fred Astaire had when he was doing the walking in the rain dance.
Singing in the rain. And Gene
Yeah,
Kelly. It's Gene
yeah, Gene
Kelly.
Kelly. Yeah, sorry,
Kelly singing in
wrong
the rain.
person.
But yeah, absolutely. So that's our thing for today. You want Monday motivation? Go outside.
And it'll
Go.
motivate you all week.
It'll help you start your week off right. This is the beginning of the week.
And that's what we're here for, is to help you to start that day, start
Yeah.
that week, and in this case, start a new month.
Yeah. Yeah. We're going to be starting a new month this week. So
Yes.
yeah. So do do yourself a favor. And it's not only for today. You're like, that I talk about your future you.
Mhm.
5 years from now, your future you will thank you for what you do
Yes.
today.
And if you start things and you do it consistently, we've talked about the slight edge. Little changes will change I talk about circling up, but a little change, you might not notice it, but it changes just a little bit.
Just enough.
It takes over a mile, 10 miles, I think it is, 10 miles to turn a battleship, okay? Or even a cruise ship, a big ship. It takes 10 miles, and you're looking, and the picture's not changing.
Right.
And you look, and finally the picture starts changing. So you may not go, if you go out one time today, you may not see a big difference. But if you do it consistently all week, your Friday morning will be way better
Be
than
better.
last
Exactly.
last Friday. So do it consistently. That is the thing. But as Slide Edge tells us, and if you haven't gotten the book, get the book, audio or print, and read the book, because as you do it, but what's easy to do is also easy not to do. It's like,
Yeah.
oh, I don't want to go stand outside for 10 minutes today. I'll just skip it.
Right. I don't, or you know what? And it's not even that so much as, well, I don't have time for that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. You know
I
what?
want to do it, but I can't fit it in.
I don't have time. Well, you know what? Make time. And to tell you the truth, right at this second, I am speaking to me.
Well, I'm speaking to me too,
I'm
because I
speaking to
woke up
myself.
this morning. I thought, I think I'm going to call Barbara and tell us let's don't do a show today. I just,
Yeah.
not, not, and then
Not
I woke
feeling
up
it.
and I had my quiet time. There's your key. You got to get up and have your quiet
Yeah.
time.
Yeah.
You got to get
Got
with
up
God
and
and
did my
see what
quiet time.
He wants you to do for the day, because that's the ultimate thing is, what does He want for you? Um, but after you get your day going, it's like, oh yeah, I want to do this. I don't want to miss. I don't want to miss seeing the people. I don't want to miss seeing Barbara. Uh,
Yeah.
we've got a whole day ahead of us. So make the most of it.
Exactly.
Okay. So you know what to do.
Yep.
Click like and share. And if you're watching on YouTube, please do the thumbs up button, because on both platforms, it changes your algorithm. And then do the subscribe button and do the little bell, and that way when we put up a show, it'll let you know that we have a show pending. So
Yeah.
everybody, have you a wonderful day, and circle up.
Have a great week, everyone. See
Be
you next time.
motivated, folks.
Bye.